Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to CVTV right here on channelvisionmag.com. My name is Brady Hicks. I'm an editor with Channel Vision Magazine, and today we actually have a representative from Thermo Credit. We have Seth Block. Seth is not only a CPA, but he's also the executive vice president of Thermo Credit. Seth, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Brady. How are you?
Doing really well, and I'm excited to talk to you, learn a little bit about this funding strategies conference. But before we kind of jump right in with that, could you tell us a little bit about Thermo Credit for maybe those who aren't so familiar?
Absolutely. Thermo Credit is an asset-based lender that lends money specifically to communications and technology companies. We were founded in 2002, originally just doing factoring for telecommunications companies. We have, over the years, expanded to all different types of communication and technology companies. And we've also expanded into all sorts of different alternative lending platforms.
That's fantastic. So as I mentioned, I keep hearing about this funding strategies conference. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So we are bringing together a group of lenders and investors that will provide objective information that people need to know. Most people are aware of one or two different types of funding options for their company, be it traditional banks or angel investors or such, but we're going to show them that there's a world of options out there.
It definitely sounds really compelling. How did you come up with the idea for this conference?
I have a podcast that I do. I bring on lenders, investors, business owners, people who have kind of been through the process. And over the years, I've discovered that this is really good information, but it would be really better if I could put it all into one platform. And so we came up with this idea of doing 4 different panels and doing it all in one day.
That sounds really interesting. In terms of like participants, who are we targeting here? Who should be participating in the funding strategies conference and why?
Well, certainly CFOs, controllers, business owners, folks that are with companies that are looking to expand or grow either organically or by acquiring new companies, but they aren't quite sure, what they need to do to fund that opportunity. And I'll give you an example. I had a business owner call me the other day. They were looking to acquire a competitor. Unfortunately, they were an industry outside of what Thermo serves, but I was able to show him 3 different types of lenders that would be available to them, as well as an angel investor that could help him get the acquisition done.
Sounds like it's a great opportunity. Could you talk a little bit about the panels, some of the topics, and maybe even the speakers that are going to be involved in this thing?
Sure. Happy to do that. So what we've done, Brady, is we've broken it up into 4 different panels. The first one is a early stage, how to fund early and smart. And on that panel, we're going to have Paul Stamoulis is actually going to be our moderator. We're going to have a private equity firm, angel investor, an SBA lender, and an alternative lender to just kind of talk about the different options that are available. From there, we'll go into a panel on working capital. In other words, the first one's for kind of early stage companies. The second panel is going to be for established companies that are looking to just kind of take that company and put it on an upwards trajectory. And this panel is going to talk about options available to help with working capital. A lot of companies get to a certain stage and they have issues with working capital. Their vendors are asking to be paid in, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 30 days, but their customers are paying them in 60 days. And so they start having working capital issues. So to help with that, we're going to have a banker, an SBA lender, a factoring company on there, as well as an alternative lender. The next panel, which by the way is my favorite, is on opportunity funding. We're going to talk about different ways that you can fund an opportunity. And again, like I said, either through acquisition or organically. And on that panel, we will have an SBA lender, a banker, an angel investor, and an alternative lender. And our last panel is, just kind of everything you need to know about funding trends in 2022, but we're afraid to ask. And on that panel, we're going to talk about, some things outside of the box. We're going to talk about things that the borrowers need to understand about the agreements they sign, about the guarantees they sign, what are in those covenants, indemnifications, et cetera. And again, we'll have someone from each segment. We'll have someone from the investment world, we'll have an SBA lender, we'll have a regular banker, and we'll have an alternative lender on that panel.
All right, cool. So there's a lot of different speakers, obviously, a lot of different funding sources. Aren't they all going to kind of be lobbying to get their own agendas and opinions out there? Isn't that going to be a factor?
It's not, Brady. The whole purpose of this conference is to talk about strategies, and therefore these speakers are going to be giving you their opinions on what types of things are going to be valuable to the borrower, but it's not going to be a sales pitch.
Okay, and I would assume that that's part of the reason why these are kind of single session speakers as well, so you're not missing any opportunity to kind of catch what you want to catch specifically.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up. It is a single platform, so therefore there will be no panels that are crossing over each other. And we did that because there's such compelling information here. We wanted to make sure that it was available to everybody so that they could come and go to each panel if they want to, or hop into the panels that they think are going to be of value to them. And I think that's relevant right now because we're really in a very interesting time. Obviously, we just came out of a pandemic. We have just seen interest rates go up. We saw the Fed raise the rates a quarter of a point. We're seeing other segments, like mortgage rates and such, go up much higher. And the planning process, the plans that you had a year ago, you're going to have to throw them out because everything's changing right now. So valuable information on how you fund your opportunities couldn't be coming at a better time for them.
Well, it sounds like an amazing opportunity for people who are interested. Definitely should check it out. The event date, I believe, is May 12th, and the registration closes 1 week earlier.
Right. And they can go to fundingstrategies.net to sign up. The good news is that there is no cost, but you do need to sign up because we were only going to have so many spaces available. The event will be live and streamed via Zoom.
Okay, so fundingstrategies.net is the website once again to register. You got to do that by May 5th, but certainly the sooner the better as far as that goes, because these spots are filling up very, very quickly. Seth, if people want more information on Thermo Credit and kind of follow up on some of the other concepts that you guys are dealing with, where can they keep track of Thermo Credit?
So we at our website, www.thermocredit.com. They can also feel free to reach out to me via email, seth@thermocredit.com.
Okay, very good. So Seth Block, CPA and Executive Vice President of Thermo Credit. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the Funding Strategies Conference, May 12th, fundingstrategies.net for registration. Seth, thank you so much for the time today.
Well, Brady, thank you so much for having me on.
It was a real pleasure. And while you guys are online checking out all that other great stuff, don't forget to visit channelvisionmag.com. There you'll find archived all these CVTVs and podcasts and great webinars on demand at your disposal right there. With Channel Vision Magazine, I'm Brady Hicks.